It's almost like stepping back into time, back onto this little farmland that really was the start of the community. Saving something that was built with such time, care, and precision back when it was incredibly hard to do so is beautiful, and I take pride in that.
We are the proud owners of the Hembree Farmhouse, built in 1835, the oldest home in Fulton County, and it's been through generations and generations of the Hembrees, and now we are the first generation of Kirschners to take over this house. We are gonna bring this home into the 21st century, but at the same time, we're gonna keep all the history that we fell in love with.
Everyone who comes to visit this house has one of two reactions. You are insane for taking this project on, or holy moly, this is gonna be awesome. I'm Brandy.
I'm Jared.
And we're sitting in the historic Hembree Farmhouse in Roswell, Georgia. We met in college at the University of Georgia.
Brandy was on the dance team, and then I was on the cheerleading team, but as the mic man.
This is a Division I letterman right here.
Sadly.
Absolutely looks it.
She is more of an athlete, yet I lettered. Sorry.
It's fine. He moved into my apartment complex, and I fell in love with his roommate.
Okay. That's not getting in the show. We're just outside the city of Atlanta in an amazing little suburb called Roswell.
Roswell's a little unique place. You do really feel like you're stepping back in time when you walk down historic Main Street. I think we're incredibly lucky to live here. The Hembree family was able to secure 700+ acres because of their service in the Revolutionary War. And the Hembree family built this farmhouse in 1835. They were one of the first families to develop really northern Atlanta. Because this was the original homestead of the area, the Georgia Trust salvaged the last acre, and they're really determined to not disturb it. And so it's this tiny little piece of farmland, if you will, surrounded by suburbia.
So the house sits on just over 1 acre of land, along with an outdoor kitchen and a couple old beat-up corn cribs that are gonna need a bit of TLC.
The Georgia Trust is the governing body of historic properties in Georgia, and they take a very active role in attempting to save properties that are in despair. They put out an application for this home, and they received hundreds of applications. And the fact that they selected us is an honor. It's a lot of pressure, but our goal is to do everything that we can to save and make sure this home survives another 187 years.
There's not many homes like this around that are left that weren't destroyed or burned. So we have one of the few really pieces of history that still exist. I think, trying to preserve that is important.
I mean, have you ever seen a fireplace this beautiful?
I mean, it's pretty stunning.
The Historical Society said that it predates the home, might have been brought in from somewhere, and they think it might have been built around the 1805, 1810. What's amazing is we're restoring this house, and my mom is gonna live here. My mom spent 45 years as a dental hygienist and is used to digging into tiny spaces. And so we're gonna put my mom to work.
I like that.
She is gonna be in front of this mantle, scraping it down and revealing that original wood. My mother recently retired. She lived in Florida. And when an opportunity came up to find this historic home, bring it back to life, and bring my mother here to live in the home where she can be 10 minutes from our family. And that's the plan. The floors are going to be incredible. Look at this. These are the original floors.
Right.
I think they need to be sanded, and that is about it, sealed. The Hembree home is a small one-story farmhouse with 5 rooms. We're going to open the wall between the living room and what will soon become our kitchen.
So as we open this up,
Yeah,
goes into kitchen,
goes straight into the
dining
kitchen. That way
area.
you have kitchen, living right here.
Okay.
The home was built with an outdoor kitchen that sits right next to the house. This home has never had a modern, full, big kitchen. You know, you run cabinetry around this room. We have a, not island per se, but work/dining table that maybe we utilize some of the old wood that we have around the house. The kitchen is the most important piece of this puzzle and part of the design, and I really want to create something that reflects a historical look,
but without losing any modern amenities.
It'll have a large kitchen table that we're recreating from wood that we found on the property. And then we're gonna develop a hidden walk-in pantry/kitchen prep area.
So this house was moved 300 feet. And when they moved the house 300 feet, someone had enough thought to leave the stones that held up the house. And I would love to take some of the stone and utilize it on a stone wall that would really be the focal point of the kitchen.
My back hurts just thinking about this project and that piece of it. I know you've talked about a lot of ideas for this room, and one of the things you were toying around with was opening up the ceiling to expose the attic. Is that still a real thing? Is that still on the table, or are we?
It's still on the table. We wanted to turn the attic space into a living space, but unfortunately, we're not sure that it can hold the weight for modern standards. So we've decided to open up the space above the kitchen and expose the original iron beam and leave the rest as storage space.
Watch your head. All right. So this is the last piece and kind of what we talked about downstairs, and probably the most important for what you want to accomplish if we can get everything we want done.
Right. This home has an attic space that really represents what craftsmanship was back in the early 1800s.
There's some amazing iron structures that support and span the house, and they're just so stunning. We don't want people to have to go up in the attic to see that. And in order to bring some of this up to code, we have to add the insulation, which is fairly thick, and then you add sheetrock on top of it. You've covered up, you know, a lot of what we want to show. So that's why we're still playing around with this idea of how can we make it work, but how can we also leave some of it exposed so that people can see the craftsmanship that went into building this house.
The attic and the kitchen really are going to bring life back into this home. They are the most important aspects of this rehabilitation.
But they're also the biggest challenges.
We're also going to add 2 bathrooms and turn the large room off the kitchen into the primary suite.
The exterior of the house is going to be getting a huge facelift. We're rebuilding 2 chimneys that were original to the home, and we need to refinish the back porch as well as redesign the front porch to make it serve as a main entrance.
The first project we want to tackle is opening up the wall between the living room and kitchen.
There we go.
There is some evidence that this wall was not here when the house was initially built. At some point, it was put up, probably prior to the Civil War, to create a hall parlor home. And we're gonna try to sort of put a nod or historical nod to both of those. So open it up slightly, but still keep some definition. I'm very nervous. You open up a wall in a home built in 1980, you have things that you expect. You open up a wall that's been here for 150 years, we have no idea what to expect.
It's in. Where's the sledgehammer?
We have confirmed over and over and over again that this is not a load-bearing wall, but I think anytime you open up a wall that's over 150 years old, there's a lot of unknown.
They cut through. I heard it. You heard it. I heard it. So I heard it.
In a bad way?
And like maybe you shouldn't take that out. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, how are you? Any chance you could come by to look at something possibly today? We may have gotten in a little over our head on taking out the wall between the 2 rooms.
So while we were removing the wall between the living room and the kitchen, we had a little bit of a scare.
They cut through. I heard it. You heard it. I heard it. So I heard it.
In a bad way?
And like maybe you shouldn't take that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Structurally, we know everything's really good, but things settle, and it might just be a little bit of settling issue. And so we reinstalled the rest of the studs that we already took out, shimmed them, and made sure they're nice and tight. Better safe than sorry.
We are back at it. We are going to finish this wall in the opening of this space. We had a contractor come out. We are confirmed that it is non-load bearing. So to get this to the finish line, we're gonna put up 2 false walls, then be able to take out these beautiful studs. Oh, I should have caught that. And then we're going to put in more support, put in our beams that'll act as our header, and then we'll be able to get those additional supports under there, and we should be good. Homes built 100+ years ago were not meant to function the way they are today. And, you know, it's very compartmentalized. And to be able to open that space and sort of envision sort of the flow of these 2 rooms and how they're going to work for us was pretty inspiring. It's pretty awesome.
Originally, the home had these beautiful handmade chimneys, but unfortunately, they need to be rebuilt.
Bringing chimneys back to this house is an incredibly important step in bringing back its historic nature. They didn't break apart, so that's
good.
That's good.
All right.
So we are salvaging as many bricks as we possibly can off of this property. Our next steps and what we're doing is calling around to the local brick companies to see if we can find something similar in size and color. I've got a couple calls out right now, and it's definitely a hunt.
So while the hunt continues for the perfect bricks, I've invited my mom over to help me get started on a different project.
When you get like a big chunk off, that feels good. There is no one who loves history more than my mother.
That is true.
The woman for years has said, if I could just live in a tiny old farmhouse, I would be so incredibly happy.
Fran, what did you use to remove the stain, remove the paint?
It's kind of interesting the way it works. You put on this very thick paint stripper and then you cover it with these pieces of paper. It's supposed to harden back onto the paper and pull the paint with it.
Okay.
And so that's honestly the only thing I've found that would pull the paint out of these grooves.
These little areas. These are tiny, very intricate areas.
My mom was a dental hygienist for over 50 years, and no one is going to be better at getting into crevices and cracks on this beautiful fireplace than she will. Is this like cleaning teeth on?
It's exactly like cleaning teeth.
Except for your patients aren't mad at you. It is a slow and tedious process, but I think bringing this thing back to wood is going to look amazing. It's crazy. My mom and I have not lived in the same state for over 15 or 16 years. And to be able to have her here and put a little bit of her love and attention to some of the details that are gonna be in this home is really special. What are you most excited about, Mom, about this house?
I think the thing that I'm really excited about is you're living in history. I love it, because I get to play with my grandkids. I love it. Okay, give me a date.
When you can move in?
When I can move in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, give me a date.
I mean,
Then I'm not...
plumbing, electrical, all the finishing. So I'm gonna say, I think we're probably 3 months out.
That's not bad.
3 or 4 months out, I would think.
That's not bad.
We'll see. We have planned ahead. We have spoken to a brick expert, and our goal is to bring the bricks that we pulled off the property here to the brickyard and try to find something that might be a good match.
And hopefully, in a yard this size, there's got to be something out here that'll work. All right, Jim, so as we talked about on the phone, kind of want to get an idea from you what's been used on this property over the 150 plus years.
Well, obviously they've made a lot of either repairs or additions over that period of time, because you got a lot of time periods represented here with what you're showing. You've got old handmade products like this that were probably part of the original brick. And then you've got some wood mold brick that would have been probably in the 60s or so. These solid ones here are a little harder to gauge time-wise.
How do we find something that will allow us to sprinkle in some of the old with the new and not make it look too obvious that we've done that?
Well, I think you've got a couple of things in your favor. And one is you've got a variety of things already there.
Right.
So introducing something that will blend in shouldn't be that difficult. We've got some things on the yard that might work color-wise, if you want to go take a look at some of those.
So many bricks.
Yeah, how do you even know where you're taking this? Yeah.
We'll see if we can't compare some of those and see how they look. These are a little bit redder, but you're going to have a nice range of color that's going to come through.
Yeah, that's
That's
really
great.
cool.
Okay. Well, like, look at this, guys. This is our brick, and this is the brick that you're suggesting.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That almost looks like it could be in the same family.
Yeah, and size-wise, you're right. Like, it's really close.
Yeah, it'll blend in, I think, perfectly. And I think when you get through, you'll have a project you're proud of.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's get them ordered.
Let's do this.
Love it. So this is a big day for us. We're gonna tear out the kitchen ceiling. We are gonna tear out some attic floors, and Brandy's favorite part, after months of sorting through agonizing stacks of bricks,
Yep.
the masons are here to start the chimneys, so we're really excited about that. We got the rest of the attic floor off, so ceiling's off that we need to open up. So now we're just trying to get this wall framed out so that it can be insulated and sheetrocked.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
feels better.
So keeping half of it as unfinished attic, and then the other side is opening up to almost like a cathedral-style ceiling above the kitchen.
That allows us to really do what we wanted to do, which is expose this iron beam. And to be able to have that as the focal point of the kitchen is going to be awesome.
Nice work.
Nice work. I can't believe we did it. Okay.
Good job. Another big project we need to tackle is figuring out how to add a bathroom to the primary bedroom.
We're taking something that did not exist and putting it into the footprint of this home. So there was never a primary bathroom, and now we're trying to create one out of just space that's in the home. Double vanity here, shower here, and then you have enough space for a toilet, and then the washer dryer would be like right here in a cabinet. The choices for the washer and dryer in this
Thank you.
house are either in the primary closet or the primary bathroom.
Or outside.
You know what?
Just
My
get a
mom
board.
doesn't
Just
need
get
a
always
washer
get a
dryer.
board.
She can do it like they did in the old days.
A scrub board? What do they call those things?
Yeah,
Washboard?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like your abs.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared to tackle things on their own. I think for me, it's more of just a passion. At the end of the day, we can say, gosh, we did that. But by having the sort of gumption to try to figure out some of this stuff, we're saving thousands, and that money can be put towards things that are really important and will really showcase like how beautiful this home will be.
Brandy is definitely like the craftsman, craftswoman, doing the cuts. It's like, look, we'll be in the neighborhood. Brandy's in the garage talking shop with the other husbands about what they're building and doing, and I'm in the street watching the kids drinking margaritas with the wives.
We'll say the awesome thing about framing this house is everything is made of wood. So you're not scared that you're going in to something that can't hold anything. This process has been something that has been sort of in the works for probably 6+ months now, trying to get this all the pieces of this puzzle put together. And to actually see brick going up this wall is pretty awesome.
And the fact that they were able to use as much of the original brick as we could, scatter in, and they're doing a really good job, and it matches, like it looks really
it just looks
good.
Cool. I spent a lot of time going through piles of rubble, a lot of time,
save.
a lot of days, a lot of hours, not knowing if it would be worth it. And so now to see him up here is pretty cool. It's awesome.
It was worth it for me because she did most of the work. So totally worth all your time going through those bricks.
Today, we've got our good friend Ralph stopping by the house.
All righty, guys, let's get it.
Ralph is an amazing carpenter and friend,
He's gonna help us with the cabinets.
and he's incredibly talented at custom-built stuff.
All right, what we doing here now, guys?
We're sweating. It's hot.
That's for sure.
It's hot.
Yes.
We need you to make this kitchen look amazing. He was the first person I thought of when, you're looking at a kitchen. This isn't just a kitchen, but it has to go into a not so level house. And so you need somebody who's willing to be flexible and build and get creative in that process. And so Ralph's the guy. And then my wild idea is to try to cut up some of that stone that the house originally sat on.
Oh, good luck.
I might need to mix in some veneer type pieces. This whole wall would be like a exposed stone wall.
You asking for a lot. The stone over there is gonna be way too heavy.
Okay.
And I don't know how much support you have underneath.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to put something heavy and then,
It just collapsed.
yes,
That would suck.
very much. Those stone you have out there, they're gonna be a lot heavier than this.
Even if I make tiny little
Yes,
pieces?
Yes.
It's
You
just a
don't want to
lighter-
put brick, like
Just
brick,
something lighter.
I could go brick. Is that much lighter?
It covers
Oh,
more square
Jesus.
footage.
It is much lighter.
You could
Yeah.
also, in your same theory, slice some of the original bricks and just pop these off and replace them on like you were gonna do that stone, but do it with the bricks.
That's a good idea.
I came out with the brick, so I'm like a designer too. You know?
Add it to the
Stick
resume.
to the wood.
How much charge you for
CNC
designing?
construction and design.
And design, there you go.
Currently inside is a disaster.
Yeah. There's not one project that's just been complete. We have done a lot.
That's my fault. I can't focus on just one thing. Like Brandy's like, let's just do this thing and get it done. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then 5 minutes later, I'm off,
Yeah.
pulling down another
Skipping
panel.
to the next project.
Yeah.
The plumbing in the bathroom is finally finished, which means I've been spending most of my free time tiling. But today, we're focusing on a major structural piece of the puzzle.
These are stunning, very expensive pieces of wood that the Roswell Historical Society put up when they moved the home and realized that the columns were unstable. And so they hid the columns away in a garage for years and years and years. Asked Ralph if he could help me basically restore them, and he was able to do so. We are, in a perfect world, going to be able to put those original columns back on this porch as they were
Today.
hundreds of years ago.
95 1/4.
I mean, anytime you take support out of a roof line, I feel like nerves are a natural thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I know it's gonna be fine, and I know Ralph knows what he's doing. So,
So he says.
I
So he
think this
says.
is my first rodeo. Measure twice, cut once. All right, be careful.
Let me switch.
do we need to add a support on the other
Here.
side before we kick that out?
It's going, it's
What?
going.
Do we need to add a support? Oh my
Here,
God.
I got it.
All right.
There you go. And then get a block and just hammer this side in.
Yes, sir.
The house could come crashing down.
How high does that thing go?
I mean, there's nothing supporting it. I really wish Jared would get off underneath. Oh my God.
Hold on, hold on. It's a lot of cracking. But I
I
don't
just
know.
gotta go about 1/4 of an inch.
But it's not pulling this up. I wouldn't do much more.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
These
This
are
is
just
now
There you
loose.
go. All right. Okay, I'm gonna drop it, Tony.
Not yet.
I'm gonna drop it.
No,
Slowly.
it's not square.
Hold on.
It's not
Oh, I
square.
know. We're gonna hit it with a sledgehammer.
The bottom needs to come towards you, Ralph.
We're good
Yes.
there. Hold on.
Yes. I know. Does that feel good, Jared?
Does.
This feels like the most amount of progress that I have felt
since we bought the house.
Well, I think this is one of the things that has been, like we've been talking about since we bought the house, is we got these and how are we gonna restore them and how are we gonna put them back up and are they gonna work or not? So now we're seeing that, months of conversation come to fruition. Brandy, how happy does this make you?
This is like happy tears worthy. Like, this is insane.
Go for it. Ralph, if she starts crying, you gotta cry too.
Dude.
Lots of fun.
Incredible. When my stone dreams were crushed, we were able to actually make veneer brick out of the bricks we have on the property. And it's cool. I didn't know that I could pull the side of these bricks off and make them into veneers. So essentially what I want to do now is use these veneer bricks from our bricks outside and put it as a backsplash that'll go all the way up the wall. So instead of having a stone wall, we'll have a brick wall.
I think I lost my mind for a little bit in thinking that we could use these rocks in some way, shape, or form on the kitchen wall.
Boulders. These aren't rocks.
We're gonna find a use for all the rocks. They're gonna be in landscaping. They're gonna be around the property. They'll have a purpose, just not in the house.
Whoa! Look at the floors.
They're amazing, right?
These look awesome.
I can't believe that they look this amazing after
Right.
188 years.
They look brand new. So these are the stains you were trying to show me on the phone?
Yeah. We had professionals come in and sand these floors down. And while I am absolutely in awe and in love with the color of the natural wood, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to put some stain on it because of just imperfections over time. This is the darkest they have. I was curious about the natural color and how that would look. And this has a protective sort of coat on it.
But it makes it a little orangey.
It does. Over here is more like a walnut, which really sort of brings out the reds. My opinion is that we need to live somewhere between the dark and the walnutty red. And so I actually had the guy mix that, and that's what we have here.
What else in the house are you trying to match? Anything?
The table that Jordan is making.
You want me to get a piece of the wood that Jordan has?
We've got that already.
Yeah, let me grab it real quick. Is this too red?
I think this is gonna be too red.
This still has some red tint in it.
Right. But I think this is just way too dark.
I agree.
So I really feel like this might be kind of where we
And
need
this
to
was
live.
this was the blend of
That's the
these two.
blend. I feel like this is more of a classic color, like something that you might
Well, I'm
have
feeling-
seen.
And they're still light enough to match this.
Right.
Yeah, I like this.
Okay. It doesn't feel like our average project. Normally we are sweating, but something as simple as picking out a floor color can be difficult. And I feel like by making this choice, it's just catapulting us into the finish line. So getting to this point it feels like a big accomplishment. We are at the point where we hate the house. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not that I hate the home, right? I love the house and what we're doing, but as far as a project goes, there are times where it's just so draining and exhausting.
We underestimate everything. And I would say for anyone who wants to do this, like just, I don't know, quadruple the amount of time for even small projects.
So today we thought we'd lighten things up and have some fun painting with our kids.
Mom, I made a heart.
I made a heart. I'm gonna say that they take after Jared when it comes to the painting skills.
Because basically everything I do is on a kindergarten or first grade level. Thanks. Finley, who is this house for?
Grandma.
For Grandma?
Yeah. Do you think Grandma's gonna like living here?
No,
Why not?
because we might not finish it. Mama?
My mom went from living in a home to now living in an apartment. And I think she is a little excited and also, you know, a little ready. I've taken on the responsibility of finding my mom a place to live. And so I have that sort of hanging over my head, if you will. We are at the point where now we're finally starting to get to those finishing details, which also take a lot of time, but they're a little bit more enjoyable.
We're taking these boards we removed from the attic floor and repurposing them to bridge the roof line and the cathedral ceiling over the kitchen.
This will be fine. It'll be great.
It's gonna be fantastic.
As long as it doesn't break before it goes up.
That's good, that's...
Starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. If we keep going at the speed we're going, I think we're gonna hopefully make it to the finish line, maybe another 45 days or so.
It looks definitely better than I thought it would actually look.
Thanks everybody for coming over. So I think we're gonna have you guys do some painting today.
We have a village that surrounds us. They are so supportive and so incredible. We have amazing friends who have offered to come over today and
Help out.
help out. Yeah. Who knows how to paint? All right. So we're gonna paint some doors and we're gonna make some doors.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go!
The goals for today are to wrangle some children, get them to paint 3 doors, and then we're gonna
And repaint them after they paint them.
Yep, and then we're gonna try to build a barn door.
Yeah.
There we go. Ooh, is that a pretty color? Being able to see some fresh faces, get that extra support, hear their commentary on how far we've come, it definitely gave us a little
Just
energy.
kind of supervise more than actually doing the work. I'm much better at that. I think all in all, win-win. Nice weather, had some fun, got to see some friends.
Successful.
Great success.
It'll work out.
It looks great. It looks awesome. I love
Good
it.
job.
Today is going to be very exciting. Ralph and his crew are installing the cabinetry in the kitchen and walk-in pantry. In designing the kitchen, I want to keep it as simple and modern, yet rustic as we can. I chose a light blue, sort of gray, shaker cabinet style to really contrast that natural dark wood that already exists in the home. It looks amazing.
Love it.
So, pretty
So
exciting.
far,
We'll see if Ralph misses.
they're having some fun with our uneven walls and floors, but
Shockingly, in the 188 years that this home has been on this piece of property, it's never had a full functioning kitchen. And that's a huge piece when you're trying to move somebody into a house. So we'll get that kitchen done, and then that's one step closer to being able to make this a home for my mom. There is this beautiful, old, falling apart corn crib on the property. And I keep thinking we have to utilize some of that in the house somewhere. This is a mobile milling company who has come all the way to our farmhouse to help us mill down a huge beam that fell off of the corn crib. It's the one piece that we think we can maybe utilize in the interior of the home. And so it's wild. So we can essentially fillet this massive corn crib beam into 3/4-inch pieces that we can then wrap the header that we created between the kitchen and the living space. The biggest project that we have to tackle in this home is absolutely the kitchen. We need the most perfect dining table.
our best friend Jordan is working with us as we pulled pieces out of the house, from attic floors to studs from the wall to a rotten beam we were able to salvage from under the house to put together the perfect table for our family.
My hope and dream is that we'll be continuing to sit around this table and it will serve the Kirshner family and friends and everyone for generations to come. Can you be so careful? So careful.
In some manner, pretty much every day we've been here, whether it was for 5 minutes to go look at something or 5 hours to get a project done.
Right.
So to wake up and not have to be here will be strange, but I think it'll also be nice at the same time, and we can kind of start getting back to our normal routine.
That looks amazing.
Dad, it's upside down.
You're upside down, buddy.
I asked our son yesterday, I said, what did you think? And he said, you guys made that house look really beautiful. And I said, what did you learn? And he said, if you work at something really hard, you can make a big change. And so that resonated with me yesterday.
And what did Finley say?
Y'all spent too much time at that farmhouse. Today, we are going to bring my mom into the house and show her sort of the finished product. And I hope she loves it as much as we do. Welcome.
Oh, Brandy, it's beautiful.
Don't cry.
This is only the porch.
Such a big difference.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my goodness. It's beautiful.
are you excited to see inside?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Yes.
All right, it's the grand entrance.
Oh my gosh, Bran.
And Jared.
Oh, and Jared. Oh my goodness.
More brandy, more brandy.
How beautiful. Look at the fireplace.
Well, that was the one you worked incredibly hard on. It came out beautifully.
Came out
It's impressive
fantastic.
and it looks incredible.
Oh, Bran, it really came out good.
I mean, I think you can see the details
yeah,
so
you
much
could see
better.
the detail and the grooves in it. So it's a good thing I was a dental hygienist and had instruments. And that's what I used on it, and it worked out perfect. It brought all those grooves back and the detail back that had been covered with all the white paint. That is really cool.
Carmen Ford, who is the Hembry descendant,
Yes.
she said she had one of 3 in the family. And she decided that this particular one needed to stay with this house since it was one of the original saws that helped make the home.
Gosh.
So here
It's
it is.
really amazing.
That
It
is
is
amazing to think that
amazing.
cut a lot of lumber for this house.
It did.
And we brought more of the outdoor in since we opened the wall, and we were able to bring one of the corn crib beams inside.
It makes it so much larger and so much more livable.
Yeah, it's definitely more livable space
Oh my
and
goodness.
better flow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and the original hardwoods. This is what they laid down 188 years ago. It still looks incredible.
And look at the kitchen.
That's Jordan's amazing table.
Oh my gosh,
All
he did a
pieces of the home.
phenomenal job. That is amazing.
I mean, it is
Stunning.
stunning.
I think what's amazing is it's one of a kind. You'll never find anything like it. And those are the attic floors that we pulled off. This is the attic
They
floor.
were
Oh
here.
my gosh,
Now they're here.
Brandy.
Yeah.
You used to walk on them, now you eat on them.
That is amazing, Brandy. It opens up the whole room. And you've got the windows up there with the light.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of light.
It exposes that iron beam that
beautiful.
we're all just so impressed with. We didn't have to open that ceiling. In our minds, we had no other choice. Like, we had to showcase the work that built this home. And that was the best way to do it.
And then your last minute ad here
Our last minute ad.
was the top of the corn crib beam Brandy ripped down and used
Oh
as the
my
range.
goodness.
Bricks are from the original bricks we cut down and we're able to reuse.
Gosh,
Didn't really have to
guys.
buy many supplies.
This is like a gourmet kitchen.
Knowing how important kitchens are when you gather, when you want to have big meals, when you want to have the grandkids over. It was important for me to create a kitchen that you could enjoy.
I can cook over an open fire, so I think I'm doing good here. I think I'll do good here. Hi.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, Bran, look at this.
Yeah.
The secret kitchen.
Secret kitchen.
Oh, wow.
So we wanted to create a space where
Beautiful.
all the modern day appliances are hidden.
Hide the mess.
Hide the mess when you have people over. I wish I had this in my house. So
No, we're not. No more remodeling.
This is fantastic, Brandy.
let's go show you. Let's go show you the bedroom.
Okay. Oh, I like the door.
Yeah, that is also attic flooring. We literally used everything in this house.
And the floor's pretty in here too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You made a bathroom when there
There
wasn't
is
a
now a
bathroom here.
bathroom.
There was no bathroom. 2 sinks, beautiful shower. So this gives you plenty of space, a nod to sort of that historical look.
Brandy, this is gorgeous.
I loved the idea of the marble shower. It just sort of evolved and became a little fancier as we went, but at the end of the day, the end product for us, I think, is really pretty. And so here's your bedroom.
Nice.
All
Look
of your
at this.
things.
Oh, it's beautiful, Bran. Absolutely beautiful.
So the beautiful original
Oh, how
ceiling. We had to
pretty.
patch some things, but it came out pretty well.
Look at the fireplace.
I mean, who gets a fireplace in their bedroom?
I know.
It's beautiful.
That's amazing, Brandy, you guys. Oh, look at this. All the windows. I love the windows. And you can also see who's coming.
You can absolutely
From
see who's
every
coming.
angle, from every direction.
And who has 2 porches off of their bedroom?
I
That's like what
know.
dreams are made of, right? All right, and now we have, I think might be the biggest transformation of all, the porch.
Oh my God.
We were able to restore these incredible handcrafted columns.
Oh my
These are original to the
gosh.
house.
Oh, Bran, I can't believe you could actually save these.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
Wild. It's wild that
that they
somebody had
stayed
their hands
intact
on
on this.
these 180 plus years ago.
Yes.
These were a pretty big piece of the project. Really the first thing that was done, though. Built from scratch, using as many of the bricks we were able to save on the property.
It's a focal point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just stands out. Everything you've done in this house has just been just fantastic.
I
It's
had the
perfect.
vision from the start. I was like,
I think having my mom in the house, knowing that this is a place that she gets to call home is really special.
Thank you too so
oh,
much.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And so having her in this space, living in a historic home where she can garden, take care of chickens, it's a dream come true for her.
Thank you. I don't know how I could ever repay them for what they've done. I mean, it's a true act of love when you think about it.
All right, let's do it. Everybody follow Brandy.
We have invited some of our closest family and friends who have supported us immensely throughout this journey. They have had a personal, constant interest in what we are doing, checking in on us, checking in on our well-being, and being able to see their faces and celebrate with them was really fun.
We want to bring people in because we are proud of what we've done here. And we know it's great, but I think just having some people tell us that it's great will be nice to hear.
And I'm incredibly proud of us, and I can't believe that we turned what was a home that was, for lack of better words, abandoned into something that feels like a home.